Hey, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to do a video review for this undercarpet heated pad. So in this video, I'm actually going to walk you through a little bit on the installation. I'll talk a little bit about my setup here. I'll show you a cool method that I'm actually using to power on the heat. And I'll also talk a little bit about the power usage and just some things to expect with this. So first off, let's go over the actual material itself. I have basically a triple layer here. We have a pad that's basically on the base. This pad is basically designed to prevent the actual, both the coil that's used to heat the carpet and the carpet itself from moving around on the floor. So I'm actually using this here with a desk setup. So I've got my chair here and then my full desk. And basically this gives me a really nice area, so I'm not going to end up in a scenario where this is moving around on me at all, despite that I do have my desk and everything on here. This is definitely something you're going to want to have regardless of where you place down the actual rug pad. Now, this is the largest size that I was able to get for this. You can see there's basically coils that just run right through this. This then heats up the carpet beneath, and I did have to find a carpet that was to size. This particular one is fairly large, so it was about the largest I could get. Just make sure you measure your space. This is actually a very interesting space. This is formerly a garage bay. We used to actually have a garage door here, and I converted this into a man cave. When I bought this home, the previous owners actually had finished this space but left the garage door on it. And I decided to install a mini split, which obviously gave me the AC in the cool, like, summer months. But I really needed, obviously some good heat. And what I found out very quickly was in our first winter, I was out here in my office. Whoever did the work in here didn't do a great job of insulating the concrete floor. There's also a concrete, kind of basically border that goes along here all on the edge. And I really discovered very quickly that I needed something to help mitigate a lot of that. So this was the best solution outside of tearing up the flooring and redoing insulation, redoing the flooring, redoing all the trim. I decided to go out and buy this carpet. So I got this pretty much measured almost perfectly. You can see it goes right to this edge, and there's almost maybe like a half a foot gap here on either side. So that's the first thing I recommend, is that wherever you're going to be putting this, make sure you find a space that you know, hey, I've measured out both the actual pad and the carpet that I'm going to be using. And basically this will work out pretty well for you. This actually has a plug that goes into the wall, and I was able to kind of join this. You can see down here, it's basically the plug on the bottom. You have a test power switch there on the top, and then you've also got an indicator that will light up whether or not this is on. So currently this is actually off. It does not make any noise whatsoever when on, so it's completely silent. It does take a little bit of time to get up and running. This particular model, I've noticed, we actually have a energy monitor in the house, so I'm going to show you a couple things. First, I want to show you a cool add-on that I actually got for this. This is a company called Govee. They actually make a wire, it's basically a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth-based device. It's a little plug that you can put into the wall, so I can probably show a little bit better angle of this. So this is the plug there, and I have the heater element plugged into that. That basically allows me to wirelessly power on whatever's plugged into it. So one thing I found was when I wanted to come out in my office, I figured, hey, it's going to be a really cold day. Why don't I go power this on? So if I actually come down here, I can hit the on button, and you can see, boom, it now flicked on. And when I'm done with this, at the end of the night, I don't have to manually go over to the switch or pull it out of the wall. I can simply just hit the off button, and boom, we're off. So it works really, really well for that purpose. I'm going to go ahead and actually show you something else that I think is really cool. I have an app on my phone that's actually built into my electric panel, and I'm sure some of you may want to know how much energy does this use. So in real time right now, we have a pretty large property. Right now we're using roughly about 5,300 watts. I think I've actually got the dryer on right now, possibly. It's kind of floating around that 5,500 mark. We'll give it a second there. I'm going to go ahead and actually turn this back on, and you can see how much it goes up by, and it should be roughly about 500 watts. So now we should be hitting closer to like that 6,000 range as this kind of refreshes. And overall, this is actually coming from my garage. So you could see we do have a little bit higher energy usage there. So it seems to float around that 250 to 500 watt range. So that's what you can expect to use. It's really not a ton of energy. So this is something, if you want to run it continuously, in my case, I'm sitting at my desk during the day or at night. I want to have that heat on through the carpet. This is definitely going to work pretty well. So overall, just kind of something you have to decide and choose if you want to add to your setup, but overall, I've been very happy with it. I think if you're looking for something that's going to obviously heat up the space, easy to use, like if you want to get one of these Wi-Fi add-ons, and obviously the coils do start to heat up pretty quickly. So if I put my hand down here, I can already feel they're starting to get hot. So it takes a little bit of time, but overall, very, very happy with this. And it was a really good solution for something that otherwise would have been quite expensive to try to resolve. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video review.